Hey everybody, JCB here with the Awesomist, and you're watching the Awesomist YouTube channel. So today is December 21st, 2019, my birthday. We're here at Six Flags Magic Mountain to check out the brand new West Coast Racers. Hopefully Honda Express is closed. That means we get to walk up the hill and down the other side. So this ride is supposed to be opened in May of this year, I believe. And it's still not opening until January 9th, you said, right? January 9th, 2020. So they're doing a sneak preview today and tomorrow, and a couple other ones throughout the month of December. And we're gonna go check it out. So we're about to enter the underground through the apocalypse side for the first time since it's been opened. And there's a sign. It's a little underwhelming. Technical rehearsal.
The 21st and 22nd.
Yeah. So one of the reasons this ride was delayed for so long is because some of the supports were coming from China. And as you might be aware if you read the news, there's been a bit of a trade dispute between the Trump administration and China, and somewhat specifically over steel. And that's one of the big reasons why this ride was delayed from May all the way until January. And why we're not getting anything new for all of 2020. When we first got in line, the ride had just broken down for the third time that day. But within a half an hour, it was back up and running. I gotta say, you can see a lot of the ride's layout from standing right here in the overflow line area. And it looks pretty good. In this part of the queue, there's a lot of signs that kind of tell the history of West Coast Customs, although one area in particular was missing. I think this is where they were supposed to talk about Pimp My Ride, but maybe they just haven't put that in yet. So we are almost inside of West Coast Racers. Very close. It's been 2 hours? Right about 2 hours. The exterior of the ride and the surrounding area all look amazing, though I do have to say, it still did smell a little bit like wet paint. From right here, you can actually see where the cars launch. And look, they finally got the message about baggies on the rides. Maybe they're listening to us after all. I will say the acceleration on this ride when it starts is more natural, almost like the way a real car accelerates. Inside of the loading station, it looks kind of like a mixture between a garage and a showroom with this weird plastic car off to the side that's clearly fake, but has a cool design at least. But above us is the real magic. Nice, a fan. The second story is actually where you wait to load the train. So it's kind of the bullpen area, and it's up that spiral staircase right there. I feel like the West Coast Customs people wanted to put a real car in here, but the people at Magic Mountain are like, nah, if you do that, it'll get trashed. So they decided on this. This is a better view of the upper deck level and the spiral staircase that takes you there. This inner part didn't really take that long to get through. I feel like it's about a half hour and pretty much on par with how long it takes to go through the main line area of Twisted Colossus. Here you can see the elevator in the back that takes guests in wheelchairs up to the upper deck. This is also where they make you dump out all of your drinks and anything you might have in your backpack that could be an issue. So these cables on the handrails are actual cables that can be loosened or tightened using the threads on these guys, so of course people are already messing with them, which is annoying considering the ride isn't even open yet. I guess Six Flags forgot to glue these things down? This is what the upper deck looks like while you're waiting to board the ride. We're actually waiting to get in the back cart. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the storage system they have in place. You basically just dump all your stuff into one of these buckets, and then at the end, everybody just sorts through them to try and grab their stuff out of it. It's really chaotic and just seems like a really bad system. After the ride was over, we decided to try out some of the new food in this new area. And I gotta say, the tacos were absolutely amazing. Both the carne asada and the chicken tacos were just freaking fantastic. I highly recommend them. There's finally good food at the park. While there's surely still work to be done, most of the new area is complete and it's looking really nice. So they need to add tables back to this area because there used to be a lot of tables, now there's hardly any. Also, they changed the snack shack area where now they actually have different types of snacks. Pizza pretzel. Stuffed jalapeno pretzel? How is it?
Jalapeno?
Jalapeno?
You have the idea that a jalapeno was rounded?
Somebody opened a can of jalapenos in the next room?
Yeah.
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 I'm gonna try the pizza one. How's the pizza one? I just want to say the jalapeno one is amazing compared to the pizza one. So it tastes like someone spilled some tomato sauce instead of a very terrible pretzel. Pizza.
I'm gonna wash my mouth out with
The good one?
cheese next door.
Yeah. The ride was a lot of fun. Not the most intense or the fastest ride at the park, but definitely a great middle ground and one of our all-time favorites. West Coast Races will definitely be one of our must-rides every time we come to the park, right up there with Twisted Colossus. In fact, this ride got me thinking I need to redo my top 10 rides at Magic Mountain list and put this somewhere in there. So, tacos were delicious. Pretzels, get the jalapeno one. The pizza one is more just tomato sauce, and it wasn't even warm.
The jalapeno one is just like cheese stuff.
Yeah, just cheese instead of a pretzel.
Not even spicy.
Not even spicy, yeah. So I like all the theming. The underground's cool. I think it's gonna get better as they actually finish it. The ride itself is really fun. The restraint system's stupid. It's like a pull over shoulder thing.
It's like hard rubber.
Yeah, but there's not like a hinge to like hold it up behind you, so it's always down. And so you like sit on it when you get inside, then you gotta like pull it up around you somehow, and then when you try to get out, you lift it up and it just flops back down. It's really weird, and I feel like that's slowing down load times.
And the buckets.
And the buckets, yeah. So, as you saw in the footage earlier, there's a bucket system for everyone's stuff. So you put your stuff in a bucket and then just leave the bucket there by the queue. This causes a couple problems. One is all other people's stuff gets piled on top of your stuff, which means...
The buckets are deep.
Yeah, because the buckets are deep. Everybody's cups get kind of mixed up with each other. If you have these and they're not in a bag or something, you just put them in the bucket and everyone else just puts theirs in the bucket, and then people start getting off the ride and rummaging through the bucket. Everybody's cups are getting mixed up with each other's, which is gross.
And the employee doesn't go through the bucket.
Yeah, the employee doesn't go through the bucket to give you your stuff. Everybody just goes to their stuff. So they're moving your stuff to get to their stuff. So it's a weird system. It's not great. And I don't think the chance of someone stealing your stuff is very high, because you can't get on the ride with a backpack or a cup. It's more of somebody could accidentally grab your stuff. And the bigger problem is just everybody messing with your stuff and touching your stuff and dripping on your stuff, and getting your cup mixed up with somebody else's would just be gross to me. But the ride's a lot of fun.
Yes.
Very smooth, but not so smooth that it's boring. The racing element's really cool. You race no matter what every time, like they promised. The inside show section, where they had kind of talked about there's going to be like a big screen, and you're going to see the people from West Coast Customs on there, and they're going to talk to you, and they made it sound like the kind of thing you see in Fast and Furious at Universal, but it's just a TV, and I think our TV at home is bigger than that. not to brag, but anyway, it's just a video that plays, and I think he misspeaks, and it sounds really stupid. But did you catch that? He's talking about how they're tricking out your car below.
Yes.
So it'll run even more better, or something like that. It's something really bad.
Okay, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that run, but the next one is even more epic.
It's good for people who are used to rides like Crazanity behind me, because it's not any more intense than that. But it's fun. Definitely worth the wait. So we went to Disneyland recently, and she went to California Adventure the day before I did, and rode the Incredicoaster.
Yes.
What do you think? Comparison to Incredicoaster.
In comparison to Incredicoaster, I would say that the only huge difference would be that Incredicoaster takes off, and this ride takes off.
Yeah, this ride has a nice smooth acceleration, like a real car almost. Like
Yeah.
Feels like you're going 0 to 60,
but
not
like,
just 60.
How you can like look around on Incredicoaster and everything like that, and still be like have fun on the roller coaster. I feel like it's about the same.
Okay.
Like I could bring my friend here who doesn't ride a lot of rides, but enjoys the Incredicoaster. I think that she would ride that.
Cool. A video of our trip to Disneyland will be coming soon. I have a ton of videos to catch up on before the end of the year, so I'll be working over the Christmas break to get you those as soon as I possibly can. But anyway, we were basically done with Six Flags for the day. We had just went to ride that one ride, and we managed to do that without too much hassle. On the way out, Tic Tac was handing out samples of their brand new flavor. # not sponsored. That's one thing about leaving the park this time of day, is they usually have samples out. You leave at the end of the day, there's nothing,
Every day?
Not every day, but on weekends. So it looks like that's the end of our day at Six Flags Magic Mountain. We got to try the new taco place, which is really good.
Yeah.
We tried the new snack, which was, I'm glad we didn't pay for it. We got to ride the new West Coast Racers, which is the whole point of coming. And that was a lot of fun, and I'm really excited about that fully opening in January. Hopefully we'll come back between now and the end of the year to experience Holiday in the Park fully. But for now, my wife has something else planned for my birthday that I'm not sure what it is, but it's about an hour away. So we'll see where she's taking us and continue onward. It turns out she was taking me to the beautiful Millennium Biltmore Hotel, which was used as a main set piece in the 1984 film Ghostbusters. This lobby served as a ballroom in which they capture Slimer and wreak all sorts of havoc. Right here is where they have the conversation about crossing the streams. Don't cross the streams. It could be bad.
I'm fuzzy on the whole good-bad thing. What do you mean bad?
The building certainly looks different now than it did back in 1984, and the hallways in the movie were filmed entirely on a soundstage. But I was not the least bit disappointed. Ooh, pretty plaza with a Christmas tree and ice skating.
Look at the view she gave you!
That's awesome.
Oh my god! Wow!
Let's look out the other window.
Babe, she gave us a view!
Ooh. The hotel certainly shows its age, but it has sort of a classic Hollywood charm that I really like. My only complaints were that the bed wasn't super comfy and our neighbors were really loud. Either way though, I had a blast. So we got all dressed up. We're gonna go have some fun, get some dinner, have some drinks. We went to a place called Skyspace, which you might have heard about on the internet before as it's kind of Instagram famous. You pay for a ticket to go up to the 54th floor where they have sort of a museum of all things LA history and pop culture. Starts off with these giant TVs that have a video presentation about all the famous people and big events that are connected to Los Angeles. It's basically a museum of all things LA, from video games to sports figures to the music industry and the movie industry. It's just a love letter to all things LA and all the good things that have come out of the city. They even let you experience what it's like to walk down the red carpet at a premiere. Then you ride the elevator to the top for one final surprise. The Sky Slide is probably the most popular attraction at Skyspace. For just $8, you can slide down a full story on nothing but clear glass. It goes outside the edge of the building, and it's quite a fun experience. Once you're down the slide, you end up on the balcony of the building, and the view is just amazing. There's actually 2 of these observation decks, one on either side of the tower, and both are just amazing. I highly recommend visiting Skyspace next time you're in LA. It was getting kind of late, so we went back to the hotel for dinner, and we got the filet mignon, which I highly recommend. We had a few drinks, which were a little expensive and tasted a little too much like pure alcohol, but we ended up having a great time anyway. And we ended our night with a delicious chocolate cake that didn't look like much, but was fantastic. It's the next morning. We're getting ready to check out of the hotel room, and we're very tired and had a lot of fun last night. And we're gonna get some breakfast. With that, we checked out of our hotel room and headed back home for some last-minute Christmas shopping. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as I'm going to be releasing a lot of videos between now and the end of the year. So until next time, keep being awesome. It's the same problem 2016 had. 2 problems, really. The first is, let's take Ghostbusters and just switch it, right? So instead of it's guys, it's girls now. And now it's instead of it's guys, it's kids now. Like, it's that kind of problem.